Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Boom, we are back on a Saturday. It's December 7th. We're talking about Rockets. We're talking about the Suns. The Rockets are back home here in H-Town, and they just come back from that road trip where they went up to Toronto and whipped that ass up there after they got screwed by the refs in San Antonio. I don't want to hear any other bullshit about that. They got screwed in that game. And then you got the Suns. They just took care of business. Now, the Suns had a pretty awful road trip where they got beat by Charlotte, they got beat by the Magic, but they rolled into the Pelicans and they took them to overtime, and then they beat the Pelicans. So here we go. We have two teams that can score a lot of points. The Rockets looks like they are currently a 10-point favorite, 9.5 over at Bookmaker. This is a game that the Rockets need to stop the Suns, get themselves right back on track.
Yeah, and I do actually think this will be a game that happens in. The Rockets are a problem for a lot of teams just because of how they can score and they're beasts on the glass too.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if Aaron Baines is out again, which it says it looks like he probably is doubtful.
What's wrong with this guy? Is it before it was his hip, right? Now it's his calf.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe when you're sort of walking to try to avoid your hip from hurting, you hurt your calf. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's been a problem. It's a shame because he's played pretty well while he's been there. And it's the other part, just from a personal standpoint. I mean, here's DeAndre Ayton, who's probably coming back soon from the suspension, and they were talking about how this guy is playing so well and how the Suns were playing so well early on. It's like, well, how do you fit Ayton back in? What are they going to do? Well, now it's not really going to be an issue. They can welcome him back, I'm sure. So. But with that being said, he's not there tomorrow. And if Baines is out, I mean, you keep Capella off the glass and you tell me what's going to happen there. I mean, the dude's probably set up to have a monster game.
Right. It feels like that's like every game lately, especially rebounding. The guy just rebounds like everything.
Yeah, he's a double-double machine. And he's, he had a 20-20 game the other night. Obviously Harden will do his thing. And, and you got Westbrook doing his thing. And they're solid, man. I mean, you can make arguments certainly for Phoenix maybe winning the game, but I don't see it. I think the Rockets are going to win this game and they're going to cover it. Frankly, I could see them actually blowing them out.
Yeah, I agree. Rockets are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games as a home favorite. And but these teams put a lot of points up on the board. The over is 12-5 in their last 17 meetings. I agree with you. I mean, 10 points, I get a little weary about that only because the Rockets are known, and this is what happened in the Spurs game. But they've been doing this for years, man, where they'll get up by 20 points, and then they just let the other team get back into it. And the reason is D'Antoni doesn't change nothing. What he does is, guys, we're going to continue to do what we did when we got up 22. We're going to continue to shoot three-pointers. Instead of, in my opinion, slow it down a little bit, slow the game, and squeeze the life out of a team. Instead, no, man, let's just keep ripping and running. And if those shots stop falling, well, then it's no better than there's no worse than it's like a turnover, because they're coming down there, run 7 seconds off the clock, and shoot a corner three, and it's a miss. So that's what gives me a little concern. So, like for instance, when the Rockets played the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, the shots were falling, so they blow the Hawks out by like 1,000,000-1. But then when you have a team like the Spurs that play just a little bit better defense, but overall the shots were falling, and then they stopped falling, and then they let the Spurs get right back into this thing, and they end up losing that game in overtime. Notwithstanding the screw over with the ref, but. You should never got to that point. And that's the problem with the Rockets. You got to be worried, especially when you're laying such a big number like that, especially with a team like with Devin Booker. Those guys can score over there, guys. It's not like they're just, some really crappy team. So that's my 2 cents.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, Devin Booker is a legitimate scorer. And, you got Oubre as well, who can put up some points. They just past that though. They don't have a ton. I mean, Bridges can get hot occasionally. Diallo's been playing well, but I mean, unless even if Booker goes off, I mean, there's just so much firepower on the other side that it's hard for me to, imagine that Phoenix is going to win the game. But but yes, could you argue that the 10 points? I agree. I mean, Houston has been known to blow some leads. We just watched it happen, what you said with San Antonio. But I'm leaning towards Houston, and I'm actually leaning towards them blowing them out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to lean that way too, only because I'm hoping they get their mind right. So they beat the Toronto Raptors. Maybe this thing that happened in San Antonio was something that, was like, all right, we got to get our shit together because we've been losing a lot lately. We're number 5, I think, in the Western Conference. And,
right.
We got to make some moves because the Lakers, they ain't messing around. They're trying to sweep they're trying to run the table from this point forward. So,
absolutely.
So I'm going to give you the Rockets to blow out the Suns as well, but I'm a little iffy on it if you can't tell already. I kind of like the over more than anything in this game, even though it's priced at 240 and a half. I don't think that's anything for these two teams to get out there and run. Currently, the money is 60% on the Rockets spread, and currently it looks like 71% of the money is on the over. So something to look at, guys. Guys, guess the exact score of this game. This one's a tough one to guess, but guess the exact score of this game. You win our premium selections for free for a week. Here are the rules. Follow those 3 rules, and you're in. Also, join us at sgdwins.com. You can access the private group that way if you become a member, and also you get all our plays, or you get our premium plays, you get our personal plays, you get our prop plays, you get our live plays, you get the whole thing. Come on over. It's a great price, and we're winning money in there, Philly. One way or another, we're winning money. If we're not winning money on the premium side, we're winning on the prop side. If we're not winning on the prop side, we're winning on the live side. So there's always something going on where we got our hands in multiple, it's like multiple streams of income. We got some things going every which way. So
no doubt. To me, the live betting is priceless. If God forbid you pick a wrong side for some reason, you have a handicap and it doesn't play out in your favor, there's so many ways that you can get out from underneath it if you have to, whether it's hedging yourself or if you made the right call, you can continue to exploit it. You can continue to find, hey man, I was right, and find lines, and you can still, I liked it -5, now I like it -6.5, and you can continue to just hammer the game on both sides, really. So
yeah.
It's a beautiful angle, and it's all available to you if you join the team.
All right, guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go, baby, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Welcome back, Sports Gambling Daily, for a Saturday. It's December 7th. Thank you so much for watching. We got the Dallas Mavericks taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Man, the Mavericks, 8 of their last 9. They've won 8 out of their last 9 games. They just beat up the Wolves, the Timberwolves, and they just played this Pelicans team just not too long ago, and they blew them out too, 118-97 on the Pelicans' home court, Philly. Dallas Mavericks have been rolling, and on the flip side, the Pelicans have not.
That's true. Dallas is playing absolutely tremendous. You're right. They just blew them out a couple of games ago in New Orleans. I will say this. I like the Pelicans as far as their offensive game is concerned. They can score the ball. They have some talent on that side, certainly with Drew Holiday. You obviously have Brandon Ingram is becoming a pretty good go-to guy. J.J. Redick can spread the floor some, but they lack defensively completely. They don't really bring it at all. That's where they've been suffering the most, and that's where I think Dallas probably can take advantage of it. They play really well on the home court as well. Obviously, Luka, Porzingis, you got a cast around them that's playing awesome. Seth Curry's been playing well. So I lean probably, in this case, I probably like Dallas. I would say to win this game, but this is one of those games where, you have two teams that just played each other recently, and sometimes that can be an advantage to maybe the team that didn't win the first time. Maybe they can figure out some of the things they did poorly in that game, and I kind of like New Orleans to sort of stick within that number. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to do that. But there are some interesting trends in this game too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one of them is the Mavericks are 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. That's pretty impressive. I mean, the simple fact is in the when Dallas is winning, it seems like they're covering the spread at an alarming rate.
Yep.
And head-to-head, the Pelicans are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. I mean, a lot of signs, everything actually is pointing towards the Mavericks here. What about injuries? Is there anything that we need to be concerned about as far as on the injury front?
It looks like for the Mavericks, Dwight Powell is upgraded to probable. And then on the other side,
because he has a wrist contusion, right?
That is, it says contusion or arm issue, whatever that exactly means. And then looks like Derek Favors on the other side is questionable. Darius Miller is out with an Achilles. I actually think he's been out, so that's not really a big thing. But I mean, if something pops up with load management or something, other like sort of tick-tack thing that happens as it gets closer to the game, I always got to monitor that. But this is early on, and I mean, I certainly could see Dallas blowing them out. It certainly could happen. They've been amazing.
Right.
I mean, they might be ahead of schedule as far as their rebuilding process is concerned. I don't know if they were supposed to be this good so quick, but Luka is special. So, with that being said, I could certainly see a situation where Dallas blows them out. But there's just something about this Pelicans team that I like, and if they can stop the Dallas at all, or if Dallas is off shooting the ball a little bit that night, I can see it make a case for the Pelicans sticking within that number for sure.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Let's look at the money here real quick. So, all right. So first off, let me tell you the line. The Dallas Mavericks are -9 in this matchup. Over under 233.5, and as it stands right now, it looks like 82% of the money, or I'm sorry, 82% of the tickets are on the Dallas Mavericks. But here's an interesting thing here, Philly. 57% of the cash is on the Pelicans. That's a huge disparity there. So, man, I don't know what to make of that.
So does that tell you there's some sharp money coming in? Right?
Yeah, it sure looks like it. So that's something to consider, guys. 57% of the money currently, as it stands, is on the Pelicans, but 83% of the tickets, which mainly tells you the public is on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So something to look at where we can actually see this line maybe even move in the opposite direction that we would think it would. Maybe this thing even goes to -8.5 if that kind of money continues to roll. So all that being said, Philly, it's hard for me not to lean the Dallas Mavericks here because they've just been so dominant.
And I get where you're coming from. Early on, I am actually leaning the other way. I'm leaning the Pelicans plus the points.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, let's talk about our contest we got going on today. So if you can guess the exact score, if you can take the Pelicans or you can take the Dallas Mavericks, if you guess the exact score of this game, we'll give you a week's worth of our premium selections absolutely free. Here is the rules. There's 3 simple rules. Make sure you follow them. Otherwise, you will not win, even if you guess the exact score. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and also follow us over at sgdwins.com. That's where you can find our premium selections. Philly's has been red hot with his prop bets, and he doesn't give them all online. He saves some for inside our private group. And Joe's been crushing it in the live betting. Big Mike gives away some of his good plays in there too. And I have my system plays in there. We have a lot of great stuff going on in the private group. So make sure you join today, sgdwins.com.
Yeah, thanks again for checking us out. And, hopefully one of you guys will hit this score right on the head, and we'll give you a week's of our plays for free, man. Best of luck to everybody.
Yep. Hit that thumbs up button. Don't you dare hit that thumbs down button.
Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Welcome back, Sports Gambling Daily for a Saturday. Sorry, guys. Sports Gambling Daily for a Saturday. It's December 7th. Guys, we got the Pacers taking on the Knicks today. We got a little Eastern Conference showdown, and we got a team that has not started. They're actually like in their worst ever way to start a season. The Knicks are. They just fired their coach. They've lost 8 in a row. Fizdale's out the door. And then on the other side, you got the Pacers, where they just lost to the Pistons. In my opinion, that's not a huge upset, but an upset nonetheless. And because the Pacers were kind of rolling before. They had won 2 previous in a row before falling to the Pistons. And here you got the Pacers coming into New York on a back-to-back situation on the road, taking on a Knicks team that, so they don't have a coach. they don't have a really an identity other than they are losing a lot. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, they have a losing identity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Yeah, so I mean, listen, obviously you got to play the game, and you can certainly obviously argue, oh yeah, the Knicks could win it. I don't really see it, not in this case. Pacers are playing really well. They have a lot to play for. They need to keep winning games, or else Milwaukee's going to run away with it. So this is a game they have to win. I mean, you can't let teams like this beat you, especially when you're trying to get space, or trying to get to certain, like maybe top four or something like that in the division.
Right.
Or if you have this kind of aspiration. So I like the Pacers in this game. I don't see any particular situations with injuries that are too crazy. Oladipo is still out, obviously. Jakar Sampson is looks like he's probably out with his back. Reggie Bullock's still out for the Knicks, and Dwayne Dotson is probable. So, but with that being said, yeah, the Knicks stink, and yeah, they're playing at home, but it's not really an outrageous spread. And it's the only thing that gave me a little pause when I look at spreads sometimes, and I go, yeah, that looks easy. I go, why does it look easy? What am I missing, or am I just overthinking it some? But I can't see it, man. I mean, the Pacers are 14-7. They're pretty decent against the spread, 11-8-2. The Knicks are 4-18 and 10-12 against the spread. I mean, I don't know if you see something I don't, but I got the Pacers covering this.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that concern me. Okay, so typically when a team loses their coach, something happens in the locker room or whatever, they get up and want to fight for each other, and they go out there and they put on a show, and by show, I'm not saying they win outright. I'm saying that they at least do better than people expect.
Well, that's true, because he's like the scapegoat. I mean, he's not out there friggin' playing, so maybe they feel like, oh shit, it's our fault that the guy's gone. Let's go and show our worth. So you're not wrong about that. That could happen. Maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, you see a coach get fired, and now the players are like, well, shit, I don't want to. Not that the players get fired, but maybe the players that are don't have long-term contracts are like, dang, man, I gotta get my shit in gear.
Yep.
There's that. So, and also, if you look at the head-to-head trends between the Pacers when they travel to New York, they're 5-11 against the spread. So, I'm actually thinking the Knicks are going to cover this spread. Mainly because their coach is out, so I think they're going to get up and fight for this one. And so give me the Knicks to cover or to stay within the number of 6.
Yeah, you always do have to worry about a team maybe going to New York on a Friday night for a Saturday and ending up in a New York club and getting all trashed and not being able to really be sober the next day, right? So maybe there's that too.
Yeah,
so
especially if you're from Indianapolis, where there's not much going on out there. No offense to our friends out there in Indiana, but right now I'm looking at the money and the line. So right now the Pacers are -6 on the road. The interesting thing is 75% of the money on the spread is actually on the Knicks right now. So something to look at. So
it is interesting.
Yeah. So guys, if you want our premium selections for free, it's easy, guys. Just guess the exact score of this game and follow these rules. And if you follow those 3 rules and you guess the exact score, boom, come holla at your boy. It's weird I said that because that's not how I usually talk, but come holla at me, and we'll get you hooked up. So, guys, you also need to join the premium group. You need to join the premium plays. You need to get in the live betting room because it is great. Just come do it. It's SGD Wins for the win. Also, check out Philly's video. He's posting. I'm assuming it's daily prop videos. Are you trying to do it daily, or is it just whenever something pops up?
I've been doing it daily, but I won't force it. I mean, I've been finding every day you can usually find something valuable. I feel I've swept the last 3 days. I put out a lot of videos on Twitter for free because I want people to see the content. But I give out way more in our private chat that you can get over, if you join the team. And along with that, you get the live betting also, which has been absolutely amazing. You have Joe in the channel, Maestro, and kind of everything. But even if you don't want to do that, you want to listen in, or you just want to kind of follow along. It's, one of the examples was I said to the guys, hey, listen, the Kings are down, whatever it was, 9 or 10 at halftime. They're really good at covering these type of numbers. I feel like they're going to come back in the second half, take the Kings +10 live at half. And I mean, I honestly, I don't remember if they didn't win the game. They lost by one.
They lost by one, 105 to 104 to the Spurs. But, I mean, Philly's not wrong, man. A lot of good shit's going on in that private group. So don't miss out. And, dude, listen to Philly, guys, because this guy's been on fire. You swept with the last 2 in a row, maybe three days in a row. I mean, it's insane.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, come on over, guys.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
See ya.
Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Welcome back to Sports Gambling Daily. It's Saturday. It's December 7th. That's right, December 7th. I got a little bit of college football today, but we're going to be talking about the 76ers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And this game is played in Philly today, in Philly's backyard over there. Now, you got the 76ers just come off an embarrassing loss to the Wizards. But Cleveland, I mean, this is a get-right game for the 76ers because Cleveland just can't seem to get out of their own way. I believe they've lost 5 in a row. And, it doesn't get any easier for them as they travel to Philadelphia.
You are correct. It may get a little easier for them, frankly, only because Embiid is already scheduled to be out for load management, and Josh Richardson has already been announced out, precautionary reasons for his hamstring. So that's definitely two-fifths of the starting lineup that will not be playing. I would expect a big dose of Al Horford. I don't think Kevin Love's going to play, but I'm guessing he was out today with an illness. My guess is he will not play. The guy's either always hurt or sick. Might be sick of his coach and probably sick of being in Cleveland, frankly. Maybe he needs to get rejuvenated somewhere else at this point. But he is definitely questionable. I'll say this much. I realize that the Sixers are not playing Embiid and all, but even when they did play him, last time Cleveland came to town, it was a 16-point spread. Mm-hmm. And I know I can't remember if it was a premium play or it was a personal play of mine, but regardless, I had taken Cleveland plus 16. The Sixers won the game barely, and Cleveland, stayed within the number. Now it's an 11.5-point spread. I'm sure some of that's because of the 2 injuries, or the 2 guys that are out, I should say. With that being said, I don't know why the Cleveland always comes into Philadelphia and plays them tough. I obviously believe the Sixers will win the game, but I also really can see a scenario where Cleveland stays within that number. Nance played today for Cleveland, and he played pretty damn well. And he's athletic and he can cause some problems, and he's a big guy. And, if Tristan Thompson plays, that still gives him some toughness. They got Sexton and Garland that can play a little bit. Osman's not a bad player. So that's just where I lean kind of early on. And I'm sort of thinking Sixers win the game, and Cleveland plus the points is the way to go on the bet side.
Yeah, I got some supporting trends. Just to your point, Philly, Cavaliers are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games, playing on 0 days worth of rest. So basically on a back-to-back situation, they actually cover the number pretty well. And also, if you're into over-unders, it looks like the over is on fire at 7-1 when the Cavaliers' last 8 road games versus a team with a home winning percentage of greater than 600. That's pretty solid. And also the Cavaliers 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 meetings versus Philadelphia, which is exactly what you were saying. They seem to play this team tough, so I kind of like the Cavaliers as well. As far as covering the number there, the number is 11 guys currently. And I think you went over all the injuries. Is there anything else we need to touch on as far as the injury front?
There's nothing else that's reported that I can see. I don't recall there being anything on the Sixers side that would lead me to think anything else is changing. Now, when it comes to Cleveland, they played tonight, so maybe something pops up. But unless Kevin Love's ruled in or Tristan Thompson's ruled out or something like that, I mean, I guess that could change something. But all things being equal, if this is the way the lineups are going to be, I like the Sixers to win the actual game, and I like Cleveland to stay within the points.
I couldn't agree with you more, so that's where I'm going as well. And, guys, if you are interested in winning our premium plays, let's go, baby. All you got to do is guess the exact score of this game, Cleveland versus the 76ers. Follow these rules, and if you follow those 3 rules and you guess the exact score, congratulations, you are a winner. Speaking of winners, Philly has been on fire with his prop bets. You got to check out his video. Congratulations, man. You've just been freaking killing it.
Thank you, dude. Yeah. I believe, and I've said this to you, there's a lot of value in the props. I think when you're talking about betting games pre-game, let's say, I mean, you can find value in them as well, but a lot of these lines are really sharp. Sometimes it's difficult to find the exact perfect spot. I just think like you can find spots in prop bets where they're not paid as much attention to, let's say. And also if there's a situation where like a guy scratched last second and the books don't have a chance to like really readjust it quickly enough, or where they stick another guy, like there's so many options with that. So that's one of the angles that we give to our clients. A lot of prop bets. I put a bunch of them on Twitter, but I put a lot more in our private group. And then we have our live betting channel, which has been amazing. I was telling you earlier, I caught Sacramento at halftime, plus 10, and that cashed. And there's just been a lot more of that going on. So
yeah, the private group is where it's at. Obviously, it's just insane in there. So guys, if you want to be in the private group, come on over here to sgdwins.com. Don't wait. Go on over there, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Have a good one.